Hey there, it's Heather Coley with Real Estate Life and Lessons Learned. Today's video is going to be all about how do real estate agents get paid. And I'm even going to share with you what the average salary is of a real estate agent, which I think is going to surprise you. This video is all for maybe the person that's thinking about getting their real estate license, or the new agent that is just trying to figure out how do we really get paid, or maybe even the buyer or seller that are just confused and looking to figure out how we get paid. So make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you hang around and share with you more real estate tips and lessons learned. So the first guys I'm going to talk to are you guys that are thinking about getting in real estate and you are seeing dollar signs. I'll be honest, when I first got into real estate, I was a stay-at-home mom, 2 kids under 4, and I was really just looking for a little bit of extra money, and I really wanted my husband to not have to work so hard so that my kids could know their daddy, basically. So I never got into real estate thinking I was going to be a millionaire. There are people and agents that do very, very well at real estate, and the sky's the limit. I mean, the awesome thing about real estate is really it is your business. So everything that you do is you are working for yourself, and so you can make as little or as much as you want. So that is the one thing that I love about real estate is the sky's the limit. There's no one setting my salary or, my money that I'm bringing into the house. It really is up to me, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, and that's for another video as far as how to stay motivated. But I found it very interesting that when I did some research, the National Association of Realtors, or what we call NAR, gave an average salary for real estate agents. And that average salary for real estate agents, I think, is going to surprise you. It was $41,800 for the year of 2018. They did go on to say that agents with over 16 years experience, the average was around $71,000. Now, keep in mind, this is for the nation. So that includes the agents that are in some of the really great, paying areas of New York and California, Texas. And it also includes the states like Georgia that actually are in one of the bottom 10 of real estate agent commissions. But it was so interesting to me because I think that a lot of people think that all real estate agents are making 6 figures, and a lot of people are, and a lot of people aren't. So it's just one of those things that I think is skewed a little bit in the public's eye. And also, what's interesting is that $41,800 was gross commission. So think about, you are getting a 1099 at the end of the year with your commissions, and you still have to pay taxes. Yes, taxes. And then what about all the things that come out of your pocket that are write-offs, but business expenses like photography and advertising and gas? Oh yes, gas. You will spend a lot on that being an agent. But anyways, so just wanted to be a little bit realistic as far as what the average salary is, but to let you know that you don't have to be average. Like I said, it's everything that you put into it. So, all right, this is for everybody. This is for the newbies, the wannabes, and the buyers and the sellers. Let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. How does a real estate agent get paid? Where does the money come from? And that check that they're walking away at closing with, how'd that all come about? So notice I say at closing, because yes, you have to go to closing to get a check. There are no checks coming in between. So it's very important to get to the closing table so that you can get paid. Now, where does that commission come from? Well, in the state of Georgia, we have what's called the exclusive seller listing agreement, and this is what establishes a commission when a seller lists their property for sale. So I'm the real estate agent. I go out to the listing appointment. I have my seller sign a listing agreement, and this is where we establish what the commission is. Standard commission can be anywhere from 5 to 7%. So let's just say an average of 6% might be on the listing agreement. So in that listing agreement, it states that if a buyer's agent comes along with a buyer, then we are going to split that commission. So then it would be 3% for me and 3% for the buyer's agent. Now, what if a buyer's agent does not come along, but the buyer comes straight to me? Well, then that would mean that I would then get the full 6% of the commission because there's not another agent involved. So now 3% for each of us, 3% of what? 3% of the sales price of the home. So for instance, say the house is $200,000, then 3% would be $6,000. $6,000 for me, $6,000 for the buyer's agent. So, sounds pretty awesome. So now what happens? Well, basically, we leave the closing after a lot of hard work, negotiations, and all kind of fun stuff, and we leave with our check. Now, we then are a lot of agents. My broker's a little bit different, but a lot of agents then would take that check back to their broker, and then their broker's going to process the check. And then depending on what kind of split they are on with their broker, and a lot of times that has to do with how many years you've been in the business, not necessarily the years, but your experience and the production that you've got. And if you're new, you could very well be on a 50-50 split with your broker. You could be on a 60-40, 70-30. A lot of brokers, each year, you kind of have to start over and kind of prove yourself again for the next year. So there's all kind of different ways that, you know, that commission can be split up. Another thing to think about is a lot of the big companies like, say, for instance, RE/MAX, Keller Williams, Better Homes and Gardens, Coldwell Banker, all those, Berkshire Hathaway, they most always are going to have what we call franchise fees, which is going to be another percentage that is going to come out of that commission check. And there's other things, even as we in Georgia have what's called FMLS, which could be another fee that could come out. Now, after that, the fees come out, the splits are done, then that broker then cuts you a check. And then that money is then coming home with you, but you have to remember those taxes I was talking about? Yeah, you better put some money aside from that check for those taxes so you don't have a really, really bad day. So anyways, so that's a little bit about how the structure of the commission and getting paid works. Now, what if I am a buyer's agent and I'm going to go show a listing? So on the bottom of every, in MLS or Georgia MLS, you can look at our listings and there's going to be a CO at the bottom, and that stands for commission, or that's what the co-op commission is. And so a lot of times on there we will see 3%, or we might see 4%, or we might see 2.5%. I mean, there could be a variety of different percentages there. But that lets that buyer's agent know, all right, if I take my buyer out, we go under contract on this house, and we go to closing, this is what the commission is that I'm expecting to make off of this, deal. So, what if the buyer decides that they want to go out and find a for sale by owner? Well, that's a whole nother video, a whole nother story, but that's something that at that point you can negotiate with either that for sale by owner seller, or you need to have a conversation with your buyer to talk to them about paying your commission. So anyways, so I hope that this help clears up a little bit about how real estate agents get paid and that it makes a little bit more sense for you. Please feel free to leave a comment if you enjoyed this video or if you learned something, or maybe I didn't cover something that I should have. Leave me a question, and please make sure that you subscribe and so that you can watch some of my future videos. And I just appreciate you guys for being here, and thank you so much.